Hello and welcome to another video. This is a little bit different than some of the other ones that I've made recently. It's not as tattoo focused. It wasn't as tattoo heavy of a week, but I was having a theme creep up into my week, and that theme was like just resetting. And I had a lot of really interesting thoughts and opinions on how to get out of a downward spiral, what I'm doing to get out of mine at least. And I thought it would be really nice to just allow myself to relax and breathe and share some of the things that I do when I'm in a dark place to get myself up and out. At this point in my life, I'd say a majority of the time I'm genuinely happy. I'm genuinely productive. I'm doing the things that I know make me a better me, but not always. And lately I've been having a lot of doubt, loneliness, not feeling comfortable in my skin, just stuff that I'm not about. I've worked on a lot of that stuff. I'm over that, I'm at a different point in my life. I just want to be happy and healthy and enjoy life. I deserve it and you do too. If I had to sum up this week for me in one word, I would say that word would be reset. I do this every so often. I have cycles where, I'll go through a couple weeks of just being an absolute degenerate, and then I'll realize oh my God, maybe I should fix some things and kind of reset my mindset and approach life differently. I have really bad self-destructive spirals, and I just wanted to be super transparent and honest about the fact that I'm coming off of one of those spirals right now, because I think that that's just such a normal and interesting part of life. When I'm personally living unconsciously and just kind of in autopilot, a lot of the coping mechanisms that my body tends to veer towards are really destructive to me and my happiness and my peace of mind. When I'm at my peak and I'm feeling really in control, I can just straight up forget what it's like to be in one of these slumps. Because I'm right now in a transition where I'm going from that feeling out of control to taking control and feeling that responsibility for myself and my happiness and my own actions, I just wanted to talk about it, because the last couple weeks I'd completely just thrown away everything that I do that makes me happy, that keeps me motivated and energized, and I've just been oh my God, why am I so not motivated and energized? What's going on? What's wrong? I found myself blaming everything but me and my own actions and things, which puts me in a bad spot. I really enjoy having these vlogs to look back on and to re-watch, me when I'm at my peak, when I feel like I'm accomplishing everything that I want to accomplish. What is it that I'm doing in my daily routine? That's why I started making these, to share my experience and to hopefully motivate and to just show the reality of somebody who's out here just trying their best to accomplish things and whatnot and be productive, I guess. I think I'm just at a point right now where I really fell off my shit in a way that I haven't in a really long time. Got into some super bad behavior that I just thought I was over. That even got me on this whole rabbit hole of what's going on in my life that I feel like I need to distract myself so intensely. Because I kind of stopped journaling, I just wasn't really delving deep into myself. But I realized today, I personally went through a breakup pretty recently, and I kind of just numbed myself when I got to my place. I didn't really want to think about that. I just needed to be in survival mode and just to work and do my thing, right? I recently came to the realization that I'm just feeling a little bit alone and abandoned. I'm feeling a little bit out of control and just I need help or support. I personally have a really interesting family dynamic, and holidays are not something that a lot of the time we converge on. So this holiday season, I've been having a lot of emotions of like loneliness and fear, and I've been just pushing myself into work to try and cope with all these like interesting mixed emotions happening inside of me instead of dealing with them in a healthy and productive way. Trauma doesn't just go away. You can manage it, and you can do so much good work to get to a point where it doesn't affect you every day and you're a functioning member of society, but it does not go away. It stores in your body. So when I go unconscious, like I said, all these self-destructive kind of habits come right back, like super intensely for me. Even though I'm like slightly appalled that I have to go through this every so often, like something that I'm learning is that, yeah, it sucks and it's really stressful when you fall off and stuff, but you can always get back, and it is never too late, ever. Ever, ever, ever. It genuinely doesn't matter that it took me like maybe a month or so, like a good couple of weeks to realize what's going on. I'm really good at distracting myself and numbing these things. So like I can't communicate to other people that this is how I'm feeling. This is just happening inside of me, and I just go inward and start destroying myself. I had a coffee date planned yesterday with my friend, and I just fucking stirred her up. Like I just wasn't even awake because I didn't go to bed at a good time, didn't get up and take care of myself like I usually do. When I can't keep the relationship and promises to myself that I deserve, there is a 0% chance that I will be keeping those with the people around me. I can't give them stuff that I can't give myself. It's just not how it works for me. All that genuine happiness that I like to live in, it comes from hard work. It comes from choosing to be happy, which is way harder than just being miserable. Being miserable is easy. That's where I'm used to. Being happy and choosing to make sure that I'm cared for and make sure that I am a beacon of light and not like a massive black hole where people come into my life and I just like fuck all their shit. That takes real fucking hard work. Real hard work. There's always the point in this spiral, luckily, that I come back around. It's a circle. There's this low part, and I realize I've been here when I should be here. What do I do to help round this out? You know, like I'm here, but it goes back, and I'm in the process of going back. I have about an hour before my therapy appointment, so I'm just gonna take this time to prepare some vegetables and stuff that I know that if I don't, I'll never use them and shit. Sometimes it's really nice to have self-control, and that's awesome, but sometimes I literally don't have any, and the only way that I can control myself is just to control my environment. I'm just making sure not to put ammunition in my gun, which is my cabinet right now. So a tip would be to just make sure that you're actually making a grocery shopping list that speaks to your heart and following it. Bring this into the store and only get the things on this actual list if you can. That makes a huge difference. And the more little promises you can keep to yourself like this, the more it rolls over into those huge promises later. So a little promise that I kept to myself today was to read and journal. That set me up to get actually into the gym. That set me up to actually do all the sets and reps in my workout routine, and I haven't been. I've been going to the gym, but it's been very light and lax. I'll just like leave like after 40 minutes when I'm used to staying there for like an hour and a half or so. I was not thinking that I was gonna sit here and prep a little bit, but because I'm in this role of keeping these promises to myself, I just want to continue making these promises come to fruition. So I'm about to just, like I said, cut up some of these things that I won't have time to cut up later, but that are so important and healthy for me. I have whole sweet potatoes. What the fuck am I gonna do with a whole sweet potato when I have like 30 minutes and no energy to cook this shit? I'm not gonna do anything with it. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and cut them into cubes so that I can cook them later, because I have the energy now. I only had an hour, and this is everything that I could prep in that hour. Even though there's not any like finished meals within this, there's already so much going on here that's gonna set me up to make healthy food choices later in the week. If you start small, that can make a huge difference, and be realistic about what you're actually capable of. I'm not capable of creating full meals right now. I just don't have the brain power, I don't have the time, I don't feel like I have the energy or motivation. But making sure that these are all prepped like this does set me up to create those healthy food choices later. I already did the hard work, so now I just have to like live it out, if that makes sense. This pickle just got back from therapy. So another thing that I've been doing to do this reset, right, to get my mind back in working order, is actually doing things like therapy. It's very nice. Just having a safe space to talk about some of these more intrusive thoughts of mine and stuff and actually gather solutions is really nice. I enjoy that environment a lot. She just genuinely listens to me and like gives me good advice on the situations.
And that's the thing, is are you open to changing your opinions of someone and allowing your...
It is incredibly fun trying to think of all the little things that I am doing right now to try and set myself up for success. This is a really fun exercise. So here's the crazy thing. Everybody's routine and what makes them feel their best and able to tackle their day is going to be completely different, because we're all different. We're all doing different things with our days. All of our brains are different. This is just what works for me right now, and I know that this will change as well. So just take all of this with, this is just my experience in my life, what works when I need to get the things done that I need to do. I love journaling so much. I know that some people like to journal at night, but I like to start my day very quiet and calm and reflective and sort of like shape it into what I need that day to be. At the beginning of the day, I have all my spoons. I feel very put together. I can understand creative thoughts, and I like to write down while I'm in this state the things that are on my mind, maybe the things that happened yesterday that I didn't get to write down because I journal in the morning. I've just noticed for me, there's a lot better and conscious journaling in the morning. So I'm gonna sit down, fill up at least one page of this bad boy, and then I'm gonna read my book for 15 minutes. Welcome to my bedroom. I'm continuing the things that I do in my day to set me up for success. Things like making my bed can be so impactful for my day, and like getting into a freshly made bed at the end of the night is just unreal. Things like making my bed are actually a huge deal to me. I never made my bed when I was growing up. My family did not do that shit. I didn't even have a bed for a while. I slept on a couch. So like the fact that I have a bed and it has blankets and I can lay them all out nicely, like I just try to think about it instead of like, oh man, I have to go do that fucking chore. I'm like, oh man, I get to organize my bed and like experience the euphoria of having it neat and like climbing into it at night. So I'm about to just make this really fast. Would you like to come sit now? Thank you. Chris in the bed. Yeah, thank you, Bubba. This is a bed that's well made, in my opinion. I didn't even really like put this blanket on properly, or this blanket, but I'm about to take them off at night to sleep anyway. So I just like to make sure that it's like straightened up a little bit and like I said, more calming to jump up into. But I'm not looking for perfect, just calming, which to me is just like little straightened up. Like I just touched it, put my energy into it, and now I'm moving on. I'm about to head off to the gym now because the next thing on my list, productivity-wise, the thing that gets me the most results with being productive is fucking moving my body. Fucking moving my body, dude. If you have ADHD, if you have demons in that skull, and you haven't been moving your body, try it. Dude, if you are able-bodied, not everybody can, not everybody is fortunate enough to do this. Some people genuinely have things that prevent them from moving their body, but if you do not have those things from preventing you from moving your body, you have ADHD symptoms or things like mental health issues. I just cannot on this fucking earth rant and rave enough about exercise. Exercise is so important for your brain health, so important. Human beings as creatures were made to move, we're made to work, we're made to do things like hard menial labor all day. We're meant to like, you know, forage for our food and shit, like walk around like hunter-gatherer style and shit. If you think about the ancestry of human beings, we're really made to be moving and utilizing our muscles. That's a whole other topic of conversation. So for me, making sure that I move my body in the first couple hours of the day is vital. Don't discount a walk either. Don't discount like a 5-10 minute walk. That can be life-changing for your body and your mental state. I promise you. Exercise is just so important. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a bit loud in my fucking van, but I did just have another thought and I wanted to say it before I forgot. Like-minded content. I'm about to put on a podcast of something that motivates me and something that aligns with the mindset that I see myself embodying. So, future Maya, I see embodying like that health and fitness and productivity, business, like all that good shit. I envision myself there. So right now, I'm about to put on a podcast that shares that mindset and kind of reinforces these ideas into my head, like some good mentorship shit. It's a lot easier to do these hard things when you see people doing it and succeeding. So if you can find some role models that exhibit the behaviors that you want in your life, just start consuming their content. There's so much free shit on YouTube too, on Spotify. That's all. That's all. Got done with my breakfast and I just sat at my computer and wanted to actually answer the emails and messages. Just since I'm on this roll, like thinking about all these little things that I've been completely disregarding and pushing off, answering my messages every day is one of those things. Sometimes when it gets really overwhelming, it can get hard to get back into the routine of actually sitting and doing a little bit each day. But I've found that it just keeps things so much cleaner and nicer if I start my day off by answering all of those. In my head, I'll really build it up because when they do get piled up and I do have to go on like a marathon answering sort of vibe, it can be really intimidating to try and do it again. Just doing little bits every day is so helpful, and I really set myself up for a bad time or downright for failure when I'm not thinking about my schedule daily, when I'm not integrating enough time to make sure that my clients are taken care of. That actually causes problems in my scheduling, in my life, and everything. So sitting at my computer today and taking the time to respond to my messages, even though it wasn't piled up, so important. Now, tomorrow, when I go in there, it's not going to be piled up and it's not going to be intimidating. I'm going to be able to get in there and get my shit done and then fucking bounce. Okay. back home from work. I am beyond fucking hype about that Red Wolf piece that I'm working on. First of all, moment of silence. Fuck. So excited about it. The inner bicep fucking sucks. Hannah was a badass for sitting through as much as she did. God damn. I had so briefly mentioned in last week's video that this week I'm making something kind of special. I'm trying to post like 1 reel a week and make them actually good. I've never put that much energy into my reels, but I'm kind of thinking about adding some skit elements and whatnot, and this is going to be the first time that I've really tried to do that. And I really want to make some intestines. I found these 4 tablecloths, and I thought that they would make good intestine fodder, and they were really cheap at Goodwill, so here's the intestines. And then I got this pillow so that I could cut it open and take all the stuffing out and use it in my intestines. Thing that I feel like could be better on this is the segments of the intestine. I feel like there's such nice little pillowy like segments in real intestines, and I've kind of been playing around with just putting some string on it and just trying to like pillow up these segments. But for some reason that is way fucking harder than I expected.
To put the priest inside the jam.
It is Sunday, and I am a fucking gremlin. My god. I did not really sleep last night. I was working on these intestines and getting hella distracted on my phone because it was so late and I was so tired, and it probably would have just been better to sleep, but I didn't. I need to finish these intestines really fast so that they can dry, get dressed in something kind of elfy, and start taking videos for my reel to post. And then I also have lots of other things to do. I have a tattoo appointment later. If you want to see what these intestines were used for, I actually posted a reel on my Instagram and a video on my TikTok involving these. Here's me cleaning up the blood afterwards, awkwardly. Luckily, that fake blood did not stain, so that's really cool. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.